A Better Tomorrow 1, 2, and 3 coming in a 7-disc 4K Blu-ray box set. Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you want to subscribe, please do it. And I want to give a huge shout out to our patrons because I'm about to talk about a release that includes one of my favorite movies ever that I have geeked out about a lot on this channel and in comments on our Facebook and on our YouTube and in DMs on Instagram and in our Discord and in Patreon about, and I was able to buy this release because of the very generous money given to the channel by our patrons who allow me to buy the Blu-rays that you see me reviewing here. So a huge shout out to our patrons. A Better Tomorrow 1, 2, and 3 coming in a 7-disc 4K Blu-ray box set from Shout Factory, release date of November 18th, 2025. I know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving break this year. I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. A Better Tomorrow, as you know, if you don't know, I will tell you. A Better Tomorrow is one of my favorite movies ever. And there's, to me, like, I mean, I think you could argue that Hard Boiled is a better movie. You could argue The Killer is a better movie. A Better Tomorrow has an indescribable quality to it. That's like this lightning in a bottle thing where you feel like you're watching magic. And I don't know how to put my finger on what it is. It's the cast, it's the music, it's the violence of it. It's the interesting structure of the story, the way it skips big periods of time, the rise and fall, like the really powerful emotions of it. And Chow Yun-fat's like revelatory, incredible, all-time great performance. There's just something about that movie that has an indescribable quality that to me is like genuine all-time greatness that just makes me so happy to watch. Every time I watch it, it's such a profound and incredibly entertaining film. And there's something very, very special about this set. And I'm going to skip right to disc number 7, which is the last disc in the set. It is a Blu-ray disc, and it is a bonus disc. Now, if you know who Brandon Bentley is, who does amazing work on like all of these Hong Kong releases, essentially, if you follow Brandon on Facebook or on Twitter, you may already know this, but if you don't, and you haven't seen this going around, but hold your head very tightly because otherwise it might explode. Long Lost, A Better Tomorrow 2 work print featuring over 30 minutes of never-before-seen footage, Cantonese audio, and A Better Tomorrow 3 Taiwanese cut. Now, if you've seen A Better Tomorrow 2, there's a section of this film that some people really hate and cannot stand. I personally really can't stand about maybe 10 minutes of this movie. Without that section of the movie, it's almost perfect to me. Like it's so close to being this like incredible masterpiece of a movie. And there's just a couple where I'm like, yeah. Supposedly that was not John Woo's intention or vision, these sections of the film. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll see it, you'll understand. Choi Hark, who's the producer of the film, I think it was Choi Hark who insisted upon these things and ended up creating the final cut that was released in theaters as John Woo went on to do other things. They had a disagreement about it. So if this really is the work print, then this is what John Woo was trying to do with this film, not the version that Choi Hark re-edited and put out in theaters, right? So this is like a holy grail for John Woo fans, for Bloodshed Films fans, Hong Kong cinema fans, and fans of this series of films. I genuinely thought that this was impossible and would never be found and that the footage had been destroyed. It also makes you wonder, did they find other versions of Bullet in the Head that they thought were lost that we're going to find out about in a couple months when they announce that release? I don't know. It's going to be a crazy Woovember. Can we start calling it Woovember? Because we're getting the A Better Tomorrow trilogy and fucking Hard Boiled on 4K in November. Let's call it Woovember. We're going to call it that. That's huge. It's huge. I'm going to watch disc 1 first because that's the 4K of A Better Tomorrow. And then I'm going to skip straight to disc 7 and watch that version of A Better Tomorrow too. Anyway, let me just tell you what's on here. There's a new 4K scan of the first film from the original camera negative presented in Dolby Vision, which is HDR10 compatible. It has Cantonese mono and English mono audio. I love Cantonese mono. You know I'm going to watch the shit out of that. Optional English subtitles newly translated for this release, and an audio commentary with James Mudge, who is a Hong Kong film critic at Eastern Kicks. Disc 2, Blu-ray of A Better Tomorrow. So it has the same stuff from the first disc, and then it has some bonus features. Better Than the Best, an interview with director John Woo, which is brand new. Brand new interview with producer Terrence Chang, which is called Between Friends. A brand new interview with screenwriter Chan Hain Ka, which is called When Tomorrow Comes. An interview with filmmaker Gordon Chan called Thoughts on the Future. And then something called Better and Bombastic, get this, an interview with filmmaker Gareth Evans, who did The Raid and Havoc and The Raid 2. And like, come on, that's really fucking cool. Morantu, which is a fucking awesome movie. Disc 3, 4K UHD of A Better Tomorrow 2. So this is the cut that we're all used to that's on the 4K. 4K scan from the original camera negative, and it has the Dolby Vision HDR10 compatible. It has the Cantonese mono and the English mono, newly translated, and then subtitles, and then the James Mudge commentary. If you want to know the full story behind how they found the extra footage for A Better Tomorrow 2 or the alternate version of the film, it's actually really interesting. Go to Brandon Bentley's Twitter, because there's a little video that explains, it's just text, like scrolling text, like the Star Wars credits kind of thing, but that explains how it came to be. It's really, really interesting. So then the Better Tomorrow Blu-ray has a few extra things on it, which is A Tumultuous Tomorrow, an interview with director John Woo, and Better Than Ever, an interview with film historian Frank Chang. Hey, I was hoping, I'm not, this is no disrespect to James Mudge, because I'm not super familiar with, I know what Eastern Kicks is, obviously, and but I'm not like super familiar with James Mudge in particular. I would love to have Frank and FJ on these movies. That would just be absolutely epic and killer. Maybe the Arrow release will include that. I mean, I've already pre-ordered this. I had to choose between this and Hardboiled because I currently have billing paused on our Patreon because I haven't been able to make any Patreon content for a couple months for various reasons, and I'm really, really bummed that I've done that because I really wanted to buy both of these, but I only had enough money to buy one, and I was kind of like, I'm like leaning Better Tomorrow, because for me, Hardboiled and A Better Tomorrow are like neck and neck. They're both like 10 out of 10. Well, fuck that. They're both like 20 out of 10 movies, right? So then it comes down to like, I get 2 extra movies with the Better Tomorrow set. It's only $20 or 10. Like the listing on Shout Factory for Hardboiled is $65. Now I know you can get it on Diabolic for I think $45. I got the A Better Tomorrow trilogy for $75. So $10 more than the Shout Factory listing, and I got 3 movies, including this undiscovered. So I was like, that was an easy decision for me. But it does kind of break my heart a little bit that I have not pre-ordered Hardboiled yet. But once the Patreon is up and going again, then I got to put in the work if I want to reap the rewards, right? So it's on me. A Better Tomorrow 3, which is a movie that I have a big soft spot for this movie. I really like it. Obviously, the action is not nearly on the level of the first 2, but I think the story is pretty interesting. And it's an interesting companion piece to Bullet in the Head as well, given that the subject matter is very similar. So I'm excited to see that. I haven't rewatched that movie in quite a while. I have the Hong Kong Blu-ray, and I think I've seen it. I've seen that movie maybe 3 times, somewhere between 2 and 4 times. So let's average it out and call it 3. But it's been quite a few years since I rewatched it, so I'm excited to rewatch that one. I should also mention A Better Tomorrow is, like, as I said, one of my favorite movies ever. I've never watched that movie on any higher quality than a DVD. I've seen it on VHS. I've seen it on DVD. Now, I know there was the 4K that was released in Japan. Someone sent me a rip of that, and I opened the file, and I watched maybe like 5 minutes. I watched like 2 scenes just to kind of see, like, I just wanted to see, like, how fucking good does this look? And then the hard drive that I was keeping it on crashed, and I lost it. And I didn't want to be a dick and like reach out to that person again and be like, hey, can you send me that thing again? So I just lost that copy. So I've never actually sat down and watched the whole movie on anything better than a DVD. And now whereas Hard Boiled, I've seen the Japanese Blu-ray. I've seen Hard Boiled on 35 millimeter at least twice, right? So this is going to be a very different type of revelatory experience for me than Hard Boiled will be to watch this film in 4K. So there's the 4K of A Better Tomorrow 3, which has all the same stuff on the first disc. Oh, there's audio commentary with David West. Oh, so James Mudge is not on the third one. David West is. And then the Blu-ray has extra stuff. It has Third Time Lucky, an interview with screenwriters Yu Ming Lung and, let me move my mouse, Fu Hu Tai. A brand new interview called All Our Tomorrows, which is with Hong Kong filmmaker and academic Gilbert Poe. And then Nam Flashbacks, this is brand new, an interview with Vietnam War researcher Dr. Ariel Basha E. Novosecht. I'm really sorry that I probably butchered the pronunciation of that name. But this is coming out on... I probably already said it at the top of the video, and it's been so long since I started recording. Forgot. November 18th of 2025. And I gotta be real with you. I really fucking like the artwork. I'm so excited about this. Like, if I were to make a list 7 years ago, before any of this shit was coming out on Blu-ray, right? Like, when I started this channel, none of this stuff was here. And then 88 started doing the Jackie Chan movies, and then Eureka started doing stuff like Mr. Vampire and things like that. And then it just exploded within like the past, 4 or 5 years. But 7, 8 years ago when I started this channel, none of this stuff existed. If I would have made a list then of my like top 10 Hong Kong film, whatever, was 4K even a thing 10 years ago? I don't even remember how old 4K is. Banging ass, remastered release, titles. A Better Tomorrow would be easily top 3, maybe number 1, honestly. Well, probably some Jackie Chan movies would be number 1, but A Better Tomorrow trilogy would be like top 3 for sure. Number 1 would just be every Jackie Chan movie. Number 2 would be A Better Tomorrow. No, number 2 would be every John Woo / Chai and Fat movie. And then number 3 would be every Ringo Lam movie. And hey, speaking of... I'm writing the Superman song for City on Fire. Yeah, I haven't watched this yet, but there it is. Hella excited. It's really fucking great, right? It's a very good time to be a fan of these films. I am very lucky that I get to see these movies, buy these movies, talk to you about these movies. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.